Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Laurel Donlin, and I'm the founder of Bright Livelihoods. We're an organization that helps people find and follow their calling or soul work. And we're very excited because we're doing a new program for professionals that work with people to help them find their calling or soul work or career development. And we're excited to share some of our inside tips and information with you about how you can be a better practitioner. So today we're going to share, I'm going to share the fundamentals of our approach, explore our three-part method, give you 3 specific tips for soul work coaching, talk to you about next steps, and of course, most importantly, answer any questions you have about your practice, about our approach and how it may apply. I'm here to help you in any way I can. So our purpose as an organization is to help transform dreamers into doers so they can use their authentic talents for the betterment of themselves, their families, and the world. And we find that in our process, people go deeply and are often inspired to make a bigger impact on their world, whether that be their family, their community, or a larger part of the world. Our approach is a little different than other career counselors. First of all, it is results oriented, so we have done studies of people that love their work, so it's really research based, and we continually hone and improve our process, which has had 100% satisfaction within our organization since 2008, and that's why we're ready to share it with other people in other organizations. Our orientation is dream first, job second. So really building your next career chapter around your vision, around what you really want to do, around your dream job. Our methodology is holistic, so we really cover health and relationships and money as well as career, though they're all part of this big piece of life that we call work, and they're all connected. We're very universal in our approach, so our approach is evergreen. We've developed it and honed it over the last 15 years and have used it with students, high school students, college students, adults, people all over the world. Our clientele have been, included organizations, not-for-profit organizations, for-profit organizations, Fortune 500 companies, executives in China, and we've even worked with people who are incarcerated. So it's a very universal approach. We don't believe in standardized assessments. We feel that they're very flawed. I have used them in my past and as a consultant, and there's nothing wrong with them, but for developing a vision and a calling, they don't allow for imagination and a lot of flexibility, which we believe our method does. We're going to start with a visualization, so if you can just get comfortable and focus on your breath. Try not to change your breath, but focus on it. So breathing in the idea of purpose and breathing everything else out. And if you can, imagine this idea of purpose as you breathe it in to take on a color and land in your heart. So that idea of purpose taking on a color and landing in your heart. And then if you can, slowly move that idea of purpose into your solar plexus, your abdomen, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your feet. Moving that energy into Mother Earth, and then moving that energy back up through the earth into your feet and calves and knees and thighs, hips, solar plexus, heart, back through your shoulders and arms, and then up through your head. And then if you can, imagine an intention for today's webinar to come up for you, or allow it to come up. and then come back to the webinar. Thank you. So this is our method, and our method is a blend of coaching and curriculum. So it's really not pure coaching, it's really not pure teaching, it's a blend of the two. This has been developed over time and honed, and it's pretty much stayed the same since 2004. I started developing in 1997, so it's had some iterations. But the first phase is about helping your clients look at their past and really gleaning from the past all that they can so they can move forward in a really clear and connected way. The first principle and practice is courage, and it's about being a visionary, going to that place of what do I want to be when I grow up. And getting in touch with when you were a visionary and when you were courageous in the past so you can leverage that for going forward. The second piece is around faith and meaning, not necessarily religion, but that is true for some people and that is important for some people, so we like to leverage that. But whatever the client's sense of meaning and faith is, what do they believe in? And how do they develop that belief and faith in themselves, in the world, and beyond? The third piece is around awareness, so understanding their past from a very deep place, their history, their family history back to their grandparents, their work history, their education history, so learning from your past in a very deep way. And the fourth piece of the first phase is truth. Truth is about challenging limiting beliefs. So what are those ideas holding you back from creating a vision and developing a vision for the future? Really important. Phase 2 is about being yourself, and it's about the present. So what's going on presently around your health and wellness balance? So paying attention to your health, not only your physical health, your intellectual health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. What are those things that bring you back to center? And what are those things distracting you from being at center? So balance, very critical. Our bodies are the instruments that do the work. They're also the instruments that conjure up or accept the vision depending on your belief, but they're very important. So paying attention to that is critical. Relationships, loving people on and off the job. It's hard to enjoy your work if you don't enjoy the people that you're around, so figuring out who your tribe is professionally is important, and figuring out how to have healthy relationships outside of work is also important. Abundance is learning about your own patterns and habits around money, and developing prosperous habits and letting go of those habits, both mental habits and physical habits that may be getting in the way of your abundance. Authenticity is really the core of what we do here at Bright Livelihoods, is helping people identify their passions. So passions are how we define them. There's 4 different types of passions. First, your interests or curiosities, what you want to learn about, what you're excited about knowing, really important. What are your skills that you would not delegate, what I call talents? What are those things that when you do them, you get energy back from them? They're reciprocal skills. What type of environment do you need to be in to thrive? Some people like to work from home. Some people like to go to the office and dress up. It's really important to know what you need at work before you get there. And then lastly, style. What do you need to express at work beyond skills? So it might be, for example, a sense of humor. So what's your style and what's the right culture for you? The last phase for clients is helping them really get to their soul work and get to their plan and get to their commitment. So it's not unlike creating a plan, a business plan for a business, but it's for an individual. So the first piece is creativity and looking at all the possibilities, expanding possibilities, really learning and honing all the options that are available to you in the future. The second piece is around claiming a purpose. So we work with clients on really developing their purpose and claiming their purpose, articulating that in a very clear way. Why are they working? Vision is coming up with what your life and work looks like in the future and going for that. And then where the rubber meets the road is a commitment plan. So making all this knowledge about yourself and the options you have for you into a practical plan for going forward. Here are 3 tips that we use in our practice, and I'm happy to share them with you, as far as, making that approach to finding work that they love a little bit different. First of all, is we realized we had to create a new language to help people sort out their work options. So we have the Remarkable Work umbrella. So the umbrella itself represents work that is both economic and emotionally stable, and sustainable. Unremarkable work is not financially or emotionally sustainable. So it could be work that pays you well, but you're not connected to and you don't feel any meaning for, or it could be work that you feel a lot of meaning for, but it's not financially sustaining you, or it could be both. Something that's not paying you and something that's not making you happy. So that's we want to move people away from that as soon as possible underneath the umbrella. And the goal with our work is to always help people hone and clarify their soul work. Soul work is defined as the absolute best use of your passions and purpose. So obviously you need to help your clients figure out what their passions and purpose is so they can define that. Bridge work is work that helps clients get to soul work. So it might support them financially or emotionally while they're doing their soul work. So some people, for instance, need to do something creative and learn and master that skill. And while they're learning and mastering that creative skill, like could be writing, could be sculpting, they may need to support themselves financially in other work, but it shouldn't be work that drains them entirely of their creativity. Some people are lucky enough that they don't have to do bridge work. They can just go for their soul work and monetize that, which is great. But other people need to develop bridge work as they're mastering their soul work. The second tip is to understand that we are living in a very amazing time. It can feel stressful. It can create career anxiety, but at the same time, there's also lots of opportunities for people and lots of different ways to work. So helping your clients is often about educating yourself in these new strategies for work. Focus on helping people in a job search find a culture fit for them. And there's lots of tools out there, including Glassdoor, that can help you do that. For some people, it's going to be about being their own boss. They say that about 22% of our workforce today is entrepreneurial or freelance, and that's going to be about 40% by 2020. So becoming your own boss is an option, and as a career counselor or career helper, you should know about that option. There's lots of great organizations out there helping people all over the world start up businesses and supporting them in entrepreneurship, including the Kauffman Foundation, really great organization. I also highly recommend Startup Weekend as an experience for you as a coach to understand what's going on with entrepreneurship. Choose a portfolio career, which means having multiple streams of income. Lots of my clients are working on that. It's, again, a new day, a new way of working, and sometimes it can be really good for people who like to do a lot of things at once. Sometimes the process of helping people find and follow a calling will lead you to helping them fall back in love with their job or company or their own business. I had a client who really thought she was done with her business, but instead a couple years ago retooled it for herself and changed and upgraded the values and changed the products and services, and now is doing really well and really loving it. And never thought that she would do that, but that's where she ended up. Another way to help clients is to help them prepare for their next career now. In some cases, they may be doing something that they enjoy, but they just want to do something different in their next chapter. So it's often a good strategy while they're employed, or while they have some time off, to get ready for their next thing. So really delving deeply in what they want to do next, and then putting together a financial and educational plan to help them prepare for that next step. Sometimes clients are so burnt out that they really need to take time off, a sabbatical, a vacation, at least a weekend where they're not worrying about work, and allowing them to just recharge might be a good strategy. I'm sure as professionals you also have other ideas, and I'd love to hear them. If you have time, you should drop me a line and let me know what you think. The third tip I have for you is to help them really access purpose, and there's one simple way to do that through just asking them, why are they working now, or in their last chapter if they're in transition. So what is it that drives your work? Is it feeding your family? Is it creative expression? It might be both. Pausing and asking yourself, why are you working, is a really good strategy. And then being more strategic and thoughtful about why you want to work in your next chapter and what your purpose is for your next chapter is a really good way to ground someone in the why before they make a decision about exactly what's next. So accessing purpose and helping your clients develop a purpose statement is a great tool and a great tip. If you're intrigued by what we do, we are sharing our methodology with professionals and very excited about launching our pilot next Monday. We've done certifications in the past, but this is a much more accessible, simple program. It's 1.5 hours for 4 days in a row. That we will give you tools for using our process for one-to-one in groups. We have tools for teens and adults, so whether you work with adults or teens or both, we have workbooks for both, and you'll have the ability to purchase those workbooks. We have a social network of our Tools for Pros cohort, and you'll have support from each other and from me whenever you need it. Our investment for that program is $995, and then the cost of workbooks, and they're very affordable per participant, $75 for teens and $125 for adults. I am available for questions. Also would love to meet you in person. If you have questions, you can set up a session with me directly, and here's my number, 512-222-6651, or just write me at info@brightlivelihoods.com. I'm looking forward to interacting with you and learning about your practice and what you're doing with clients. It'll be a lot of fun. So thank you for being with me today, and I hope to talk to you soon.